Guys, so it is now post Ramadan, and I wanted to make this video because we're in a period now where you've literally gone through the most physically demanding period of the year without you even realizing it. Now Ramadan, it's not easy, man. No, sleep has been hard to get in. I know it has. I know the energy's not been there because of that. I know the eating habits have been up and down. You've been having to wake up for suhoor, which means you're not eating at the time you want to eat. The guys that have day jobs that have to wake up early in the morning, how did you navigate that? But you had to get it done, right? And I want to acknowledge that. I want to give you a pat on the back because you went through that. And Eid was earned. I hope you had a great Eid. I hope you had a blessed time with your family and friends, had loads of bad foods that weren't good for you. But you earned that. Yeah, for us now, it's about getting that routine back though, right? And what happens after Ramadan is so important. So I want you to remember that through Ramadan, you were moving a lot. Taraweh prayer, it's about 20 rakats. That's a lot of movement, right? Or praying 5 times a day, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do already. But the difference was in Ramadan, maybe you might have been walking to the masjid, but you were pretty much on that and making sure you were moving. Just all these things, they require energy. When you're praying up and down, people don't realize that it requires energy for your body to move. You know, you had broken sleep in the night, Isha late at night, and then again you were walking to the masjid, but that calorie deficit was enforced upon you. You had no choice but to be in a calorie deficit. Well, I hope so anyway. You know, guys watching this having all them desserts at night, flipping empty calories that did no good for you, then this probably doesn't apply to you. But the guys that actually stuck to a decent eating pattern, you were enforced to be on a calorie deficit. You know, you had tight eating windows. And then after that, you can't eat all day. You have to not eat or drink. You had no choice, so you did it. And them two things combined, the activity level combined with the smaller eating windows, meant a bigger calorie deficit. For the guys that don't know what calorie deficit is, it's basically consuming less calories than your body requires in a day. Yeah, which means our body fat is getting lower. We're losing weight. So that was enforced upon you. You had no choice. Yeah. The structure that kept you moving overnight, when Eid comes, that's suddenly taken away. So I know on Eid day, you're gonna eat loads of food. Anyone that calorie counts on Eid, you're a bit weird, right? No one does that. To be honest, I'm a bit of a weirdo because I do count my protein. I always do that. I always have done that. But you let loose a bit. You eat what you want, right? You're around your family, you want to have a good time, right? But here's the thing is that one day then turns into 2 days, then turns into 3 days. Eid was on a weekend, it was on a Friday, right? And then you're thinking, okay, let's have the weekend off. Let's have the weekend off. Monday I'll get locked back in. Monday comes around and because you've had all that bad food, you don't feel like moving, you don't feel like working out. Stacks up, and you found that it's very hard for you to get back in routine now. So now we have to replace all that. Taking all this into account, we need to take ourselves from where we were into Ramadan, calorie deficit, alongside loads of movement, and we have to replace it with something. Whether that means taking the kids out for a walk, whether it means, I don't know, doing something that requires some sort of movement. Yeah, we need to do that. Whether, you know, exercise, steps, whatever it is, we need to replace it. You know, we're not going to be praying Taraweh either. You know, keep praying your namazes, keep praying your nafli namazes, but we have to replace it with something, right? Okay. And I hope you get where I'm coming from with that. But I want you to remember as well that you proved something to yourself through this period that any other time of the year you wouldn't have proved to yourself. So you proved to yourself that you can have some sort of structure to your life. You can discipline yourself. You can get things done when you need to get them done. And now it's just a matter of bringing that into this routine of life. Things are different now. You're back at work, you're sleeping more, your circumstances are a bit more ideal. But then that's not to say it's going to be any easier. You just need a different approach to that. Okay? So the same mental muscle that got you through a 12, 13-hour fast, that's the one that got you to the gym, right? It got you on a walk, it got you to the masjid, it got you refusing that takeaway, okay? You already know how to say no. You've shown it through that period. Now that same mental muscle, you've got to bring it on. I've heard it through the whole month. People saying that they're going to take a gym break, and it annoys the hell out of me. Because these guys that wanted to take a gym break, yeah, they're the people that often always make excuses. They're always looking for another reason to stop going to the gym. And for you to tell me, no matter how much you're lacking sleep, no matter how unideal the conditions are right now, if you're telling me that you can't get some sort of exercise, I'm not even talking about a 30, 45-minute workout, but even getting down and doing some push-ups, some squats, for you to tell me that you can't do that, nah mate, I'm not falling for it. Miss me with that. So the point what I'm trying to make here is that there will always be a reason for you not to exercise. Conditions will never be perfect for you to exercise, but that's when you've got to be like, listen, how can I make this work? What can I do to make this work for me? You know, and it just comes down to your priorities. If fitness is a priority for you, then you will exercise. You know, if scrolling TikTok, Instagram is a priority to you, then you'll do that. You'll waste time, and then you'll blame your circumstances for it. But yeah, but I want you to flip this, yeah. If you struggle in Ramadan, now that circumstances are more ideal for you, how are you going to change? What's going to be more different for you? How are you going to now make the most of the conditions for you right now? And you can do it. Yeah, the food window's gone, you can train and refuel, and the sleep is back. Now, sleep is a massive thing, and if you've been struggling with sleep, I fully understand. The guys that work 9 to 5s, it has been hard because you've had to pray your Isha namaz. I know through the month, we found that the Isha namaz was getting later and later, right? So you were getting home late, which meant you had to maybe get some food in because you hadn't ate enough, and then you were sleeping late, which meant that you weren't getting enough sleep. You wake up at Fajr time, go back to bed. A lot of you guys struggled with that. I think Fajr time was about 6 o'clock at the end, so some of you guys didn't even sleep after that. So having a lack of sleep, it can affect performance massively, but now that you've got that, you can get that routine back. But then you have to discipline yourself. It's going to be harder for you to discipline yourself because you were forced not to eat food. Now you got food at your disposal, and you got to be like, listen, I'm not having it, right? Now next, the wait for the right time trap, right? People want to wait for the ideal conditions to start, right? I've had clients that have started their fitness journey in Ramadan, and I know full well to begin with, off the bat, that these are going to be my best clients because they didn't wait for the ideal conditions to get started. They were like, listen, I know I need the help. Why not start now? I know it's not going to be perfect, but let's start. Let's start because I need it. Whereas some people, they were just waiting. Well, I have to fast. Let's just go. Wait it out. I don't need it right now. The ibadat guys, alhamdulillah, mashallah, like, you guys tell me you want to do your ibadat, alhamdulillah, you want to get that in, right? But then for them guys to tell me they were doing their ibadat 24/7 through Ramadan, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And this is what I want you to realize, is that it doesn't have to be one thing or the other. It doesn't have to be either the gym or either praying, right? It can be both. You can find that healthy medium. Because at the end of the day, you got to look at exercise in a different way. A person that tells me that they're stopping exercise before their ibadah, I already know that they have the wrong perception of exercise, because what exercise should do is it should facilitate your prayer. It should facilitate your spirituality. And what a lot of our people, they struggle with is finding that balance. We have this all or nothing mentality. We think that, okay, it's either we have to, gym all the time, live in the gym, or, we're praying all day long. We can't find that balance. And for a lot of people, that's what keeps them stuck, is the all or nothing mentality. They go out, they have a takeaway, and then all of a sudden they've derailed all their progress and they feel that they have to start again. But no, it's not that way. It's not that way at all. Right? So yeah, there will always be a reason for you not to start, but you have to be like, listen, it's okay, let's just start. Right now, it's probably not the ideal condition for you right now. I don't know what it what you're going through in your life. But there will always be something. There will always be something, but you have to make it work. And I always tell my people is make a list, right? In that list, I want you to include things that aren't in your control. Put a line through that. Then on the other side, things that aren't in your control. Okay? You're going to realize that the things that are in your control are so much more than the things that aren't. Yeah? There's so much you can do to change your current circumstance. So focus on the things you can control, man. There's no point focusing on what you can't, because that's not going to change. Right? And don't take the power out of your own hands. You're in charge here. Okay? Now, routine shock is real, and here's how to handle it. Because people, they don't understand that Ramadan really restructures your life. Yeah, you've got a good community around you as well. Like through Ramadan, you've got people, they're there at iftar, they're there at namaz, and you've got that good community feeling that is going to help you get results, that is going to help you stay accountable and help you stay on it with your deen and your prayer. And this is why I always say to my guys is surround yourself with people that are on a similar journey to you. Whether that means fat loss, whether that means getting close to your Lord, having a community feel around you, having people on the same journey around you is going to help you. So get that for yourself. Yeah? And this transition, unfortunately, is where it drifts for a lot of people. They lose that Ramadan rhythm and they don't replace it with anything else. And then that 2 weeks of drifting, it becomes a month. They put on all that weight that they might have lost through Ramadan, and they've just derailed all their progress. So a practical fix to this is I want you to pick one non-negotiable per week and build from there. This could be a walk after dinner. Yeah, so you've done your 9 to 5, you come home, you've ate, go for a little walk, go for a stroll. In front of your kids, get some push-ups in, do some sort of exercise, or go to the gym. Oh, my missus doesn't let me go to the gym. She tells me I need to stay home with the kid. Mate, half an hour, yeah, negotiate. Yeah, learn the art of negotiation. That's what you need. But that's not a problem. That's not really not a problem. You guys, that's latching onto excuses. Routines don't need to be complicated. They need to be consistent. Yeah, it's the small, consistent habits that get you the biggest results. Yeah, steps. Okay, I'm going to do 12,000, 15,000 steps. And then the next day, it's not even 1,000 steps. Yeah, when you're averaging out through the week, it's not that good. I'd rather you have a less number. 7,000, but do it consistently. Right? So use that post-Ramadan energy. Right now, your body is in such a good place. It's cleared its bad toxins out of its body, simply speaking. Your body is more efficient at burning fat. Your metabolism is a lot higher. Your testosterone and everything around it is a lot higher. So you are in prime condition right now to get into good physical shape, and you don't want to waste it. And these are some of the client stories for a bit of motivation for yourself. Now, I had literally had clients through Ramadan that told me that usually through Ramadan, they'd pause their gym membership. But then this time, they shocked themselves as to how hard they train and how they proved to themselves that they can stay on it. I also had people that they'd never trained in Ramadan, but then this was just like another deal breaker for them, and they just got into the gym and they proved to themselves that, listen, I can still exercise and I can still stay on top of everything else that Ramadan requires of me. And that was great to see. You know, and this is just something that I want you to bear in mind for the next Ramadan, but also for you right now, is that, again, conditions don't need to be ideal. If them lot did it, my clients did it, you can do it also, okay? And they're not outliers either. They're just proof of what happens when you back yourself instead of waiting for the right opportunity. And it all comes back to mentality. The person with the right mentality. Listen, I don't care if things aren't going my way, I'm still going to get things done. That's the person that will always succeed. You know, the nutrition is manageable. It is manageable. You know, there's always things you can do. And for the lads as well, it's like, literally, through Ramadan, Might sound a bit stereotypical then, but a lot of you guys might have been, I'm not saying everyone, but you might have been relying on your missus to make the food, right? So that control was taken out of your hands. Yeah, now you have that back. You can actually prep your own foods. You have that time, help with the time, so you can do it. So make sure you get that done. Bring that power back into your own hands. Yeah? And if you want your missus to make the food, communicate with her. Like, listen, I'm on a health journey. Help her understand how nutrition works as well. And listen, you're onto a winner, honestly. But yeah, I want to bring it home now. Ramadan has showed you that you persevered through the hardest bit. Yeah? And literally you proved to yourself that you can do it. But this is, again, the time where you're going to either make the most of it and see big changes in your physique, or you're going to let it go to waste. It's up to you which person you want to be. Yeah? The movement structure is gone. The enforced discipline has gone. But the version of you that got through 30 days of fasting, it's still there. The question isn't, am I ready? It's, you've already proved that you are. The question is, are you going to act on it? So yeah, I work with people who are ready to act on it. And that's the mentality that you've got to have with life, right? They don't need a perfect condition, because I've seen what those people can do in imperfect ones. I might have had to help them across the line, but they've proven to themselves what they can do when things aren't how they wanted them to be, or how they expected them to be. And these are the type of people I work with. And if you want guidance, accountability, someone in your ear who gets it, I'm here. My DMs are open. You can message me on YouTube underneath in the comments. You can find me on my social media, amfitness_pt_. I'm also on LinkedIn, Facebook. But yeah, I'm here to try and make things easier for you. And honestly, listen guys, do not waste this period right now, because it is in your control to change it. You've just got to act on it. Let's go, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.